If you've been holding off on an E-2 visa because you're worried about the political climate, I want to tell you what I'm actually seeing in my practice. And it's probably not exactly what you would think. My name's Ben Frear, and I'm an immigration attorney that focuses my practice on E-2 treaty investor cases. The core E-2 law hasn't changed in 2026. The requirements are the same, but 5 things have shifted around it, and they matter if you're planning a case this year. Let me start here because it's the question I get most. Is the current administration causing more E-2 denials? Honestly, I'm not seeing it. Now, sure, every once in a while, I get a decision I disagree with. That happens under any administration. But on the whole, officers continue to be respectful and reasonable. I know this is purely anecdotal based on my caseload, but the adjudication of E-2 cases on the merits hasn't shifted in any way I can point to. The real story here is on the processing side. Recently, I've had clients who are born in countries like Iran and Cuba, but now hold citizenship in treaty countries that qualify for the E-2. Their cases were strong, and they were ultimately approved. But unfortunately, they went through months of additional screening first, what's called administrative processing. In the end, the system worked, but the timelines were much longer than they would have been otherwise. There's also been a policy shift worth knowing about. In late 2025, the State Department issued new guidance directing non-immigrant visa applicants to apply in their country of nationality or residence. Until recently, applicants facing long wait times at their home post could apply at a post with shorter wait times elsewhere. That flexibility is largely gone. It's out the window. The State Department is now explicit that applying outside your country of nationality or residence means longer waits and may make it more difficult to qualify. So if you're from a country facing additional scrutiny or your designated post is backed up, plan accordingly. Don't book one-way flights. Don't sign binding commitments based on the minimum possible timeline. Build in serious buffer to account for possible delays. Now let's shift over and talk about how some modern business developments are affecting the E-2. Here is the tension that I think about most between the E-2 visa and modern business trends. The E-2 requires your business to be more than marginal. It essentially has to create jobs or have the capacity to do so. We seem to be at the very beginning of a shift toward business being run with AI agents instead of employees. Solo founders are doing what used to take teams of 10. A consulting practice that used to need 6 people can now run on 1 person and a stack of AI tools. That's the future a lot of entrepreneurs are building toward. And unfortunately, the E-2 framework wasn't designed for it. Here's what worries me. You don't want to be the person who gets approved on a great application, builds a highly efficient and profitable business, and then can't renew because your business isn't creating jobs or contributing to the US economy in the way the rules expect. The applicants who are getting this right are designing their businesses with job creation in mind from the start, even when AI tools could let them operate with fewer people. Here's another trend. Starting a business has gotten cheap. AI tools, no-code platforms, cheap cloud infrastructure. Entrepreneurs can now launch with a fraction of the capital they needed 5 years ago. That's absolutely fantastic for entrepreneurs, but it creates a little bit of a puzzle for E-2 applicants. The E-2 requires a substantial at-risk investment. If your business doesn't require much, you start walking a fine line. A very low investment might raise some questions, but at the same time, smart applicants don't waste their money just to drive up their investment total. So the real question for 2026 isn't how much should I invest? It's what kind of business am I building and does the investment make sense for it? In 2026, we're hearing a lot of talk about AI eliminating entry-level jobs. Now, I suspect that some of that is AI washing. Companies using AI to cover for layoffs they wanted to do anyway. But the trend is real enough that it's starting to shape decisions. I'm seeing more younger applicants who would have taken the traditional employment path a few years ago. Now, they're looking at building something themselves. If you have treaty nationality, and the traditional path is either closing or doesn't look attractive to you, the E-2 deserves a serious look. It doesn't have to just be a backup plan. For the right person, it's a better plan, one that can lead to the freedom and fulfillment that come with building something of your own. So that's the E-2 visa in 2026 from my perspective. To summarize, the political climate isn't the problem most people think it is. Travel restrictions and timing are worth considering. AI is creating a slow motion collision with marginality rules. The cost of starting a business keeps falling, which makes the investment requirement harder to navigate. And a new generation of applicants is showing up and taking advantage of all that the E-2 visa has to offer. The E-2 visa was originally built for a world where running a business meant hiring people and spending a lot of money. That world is changing. But the fundamentals of the visa, genuine investment and real economic contribution, aren't going anywhere. How you build your business now, in light of all the technological advancements, requires more thoughtful planning than ever. Thank you so much for watching, and best of luck as you explore the E-2 visa and all the other U.S. immigration options in 2026.